Hanging around.
There it is. We're live. Welcome to the Scruffy City Aquatics live stream, something that we don't do very often anymore. I'm Mitch, and I have Tanner with me. What's up, Tanner?
Hey everybody, we are back after a extended hiatus. It's good to
Yeah.
see everybody. Already got a few people in the chat. We got TJ Autocross saying it's a Thanksgiving miracle. You may be able to call it that. We've been trying to get back on here for a while, and finally the stars have aligned,
Yeah,
and
which means
we're
which
we're
means my
back.
kids do not have school tomorrow. We'll get into that. We'll get into more details on that. What's up with the live stream and the channel, because I think it's been 3 months since I've even posted a video at this point.
Yeah.
Hobby's still going. I still have tanks. I'm still doing things. Just not as much time as I used to have. Who'd we say hi to? We said hi to Nano Guy.
I saw TJ's. I haven't said hey to anyone else, but we've
Okay.
got
Skull Aquatics is here. What's up, Scully?
and Nano Aquarium guy, Scully, new local Austin, welcome,
What's up, Austin?
and Sketty Nona. Hey everybody,
What's up,
hope y'all are
Sketty
doing
Nona?
well. It's good to see people back in the chat. I was like, is anyone gonna come
Yeah.
watch us? Have they forgotten about us?
Well, and I've not even, I mean, for real, I've not even looked at the schedule to see. I'm sure someone filled in our time slot while we were gone. I don't know who that is. And I apologize, whoever you may be, that we're also going live at the same time. But we have not figured out yet when will be the best time for us to live stream. So since we had an opportunity to get together, we thought we might just do it on our old normal Tuesday, and
Yeah.
yeah, just chat it up a little bit. And I don't know, no promises on when we go regular. We may be regular for Tuesdays for a little while. I don't know. I got to catch up. Got to catch up. When I brought up YouTube earlier today to create the announcement that there was a live stream, I saw that Rico was live on his Focus On, and that he had Killer Kitty on. If you all weren't there, I was probably there for about half of it. I was lurking for a while. If you haven't, if you didn't get to watch it, definitely check it out. It was a fun interview, a fun conversation. It was cool getting to know Holly a little bit. And, she's been in the chat for a long time. I talked to her in the chat long before I started YouTubing myself. And so it's real cool to get to see those interviews and get to know the members of the community. But I sat there and I kept wanting to comment, and I was like, no, I haven't been around in a while. We're planning on live streaming tonight. I don't want it to just be like an advertisement for the fact that we were live streaming. But I eventually found a way to just jump in the conversation and was able to participate a little bit.
Looks
What's
like
up, Skipper?
we've got Skipper and Coro Works.
Yeah,
Welcome.
hey,
It's
Cora.
good to see everybody. It's
Let the dog out.
Mitch is already having to step away for a second. But
I'm
no,
right
it,
here,
it
though.
definitely is very good to be back. I've missed live streaming. It's fun. It's nice to chat with everybody and get a good, almost midweek fish
Yeah.
chat talk going. So I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's been sorry, I'm getting messages from people all of a sudden. People aren't used to me being busy on Tuesdays anymore. But yeah, it's been tough. There's been several times that there's been close calls where we were planning on it and I'd have to message you at last minute, or I think one time something came up for you. It was mostly me who had stuff come up. It's just been life's not been that tough. It's not been, it's not bad things, but the kids changed school. And so they're got a lot more work. Like they're doing a lot more homework. It's a lot more intensive. which has been good for them. Been stretching them a little bit, but on top with that, there's been a lot more homework. And then my youngest has gotten plugged into just about everything extracurricular that they offered. And so, we're trying to find that balance still. But we'll get there. We'll figure it out. The tanks have suffered, not in a bad way. They're just overgrown. So I guess in a sense it is a bad way. I really need to do some trimming in the 75 because it is an absolute beast of a jungle. The duckweed has even had a hard time establishing because there's so many plants sticking out of the water.
Yeah.
It's funny. Maybe I'll leave it like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah, my tanks have definitely suffered a bit as well. I've been busy outside of aquariums, and
Yeah,
for about a month I didn't touch a couple tanks, and they definitely look a little worse for wear, but the fish are happy, so
yeah.
I'm okay with it. And something new that I guess no one on the live stream has seen. The last time we streamed, I did not have all of this
You
behind
were
me.
moving.
I was
Had you
moving,
moved?
so
You were getting ready to
I
move.
had just moved and had
Okay.
set up the 2 tanks, but now I've got the little fish room closet behind me. So that's been fun. That's been really busy because historically I've been a plant guy and have done my, tried to do my well manicured aquascapes, but now I'm getting a little bit more into the fish side. So the plants are growing well, they just aren't as pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, 75's a mess. It's overgrown. It needs a lot of trimming. All the fish are good. Everything in there is doing great. I've got way too many swordtails. I did take some to the aquatic market. We had that about 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
And so I gave some away at that. I'm sorry, I didn't take those to the aquatic market. I had planned on it, wasn't able to. I took them to our meeting, which was the following week. So they went on the table and were given away. I took some of those and some guppies and a bunch of plants because I'm overrun with plants, like I said. But I guess for me, the biggest news in the hobby for me has been in a little 10-gallon because I did receive, I think last we were live streaming, I was expecting my 9 orange Venezuelan corridoras
Yeah.
from Peplin Creek Aquatics. And I did get them. I did record the unboxing. I do have an unboxing / review of receiving fish. First time I've ever received fish in the mail. But I haven't been able to edit it and get it out there. But I did record it, so it will be something that I'll put out eventually when I can get to it, hopefully sooner rather than later. I've got some holiday time coming up, so maybe I can spend some time on it over the next few weeks. No promises, but I got to let the dog in.
Yeah, I know you were extremely excited.
I did
to
rearrange
get those,
my desk area.
orange.
I was getting claustrophobic back here, so now it's open, which is working out a little bit better for me. But I was like, oh, it's going to be behind it. All the shelving and stuff that I was working on isn't behind me anymore.
Yeah.
My headphones may have disconnected. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, but it's over the speakers. But you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
All right, I'm back. Let me make sure that I'm not on the audio on my AirPods because it does not like those. Okay, good. I'm still on my mic. All right.
Yeah, I knew you were very excited to get those orange Venezuelan. I think you sent me a picture of them when they were in the bag, and I was like, is that them?
Yeah. It was exciting. They were everything was well packed. I know they're professionals. I know a lot of people in the fish fam have had experience with them. They were individually packed, which is great for Corey's.
Mhm.
They were each in their own bag, and they sent me a lot of extra stuff to try out, food wise and things like that. So excited about that. And they're doing great. Sometimes I feel like maybe I'm not good at this when I buy all those Sturbe corridors and they all die. Um, you know, but then I get these 9 fish, they come in and they're great. I mean, they're super healthy. I've had no losses, no problems. They're growing. They're all over the place in that 10-gallon. I'm enjoying watching them grow. And so that's going on in that 10-gallon. So I went ahead and scaped it a little bit. It's got a bunch of plants moved over from the 75 and such over there. And I added some driftwood that floated in there for a very long time. It's finally sunk. And then at the aquatic market, as is become normal for me, as people were leaving, they were handing me fish. So I came home. First of all, well, I'm gonna start with the 10-gallon since that's what I'm already talking about. I've got my first killifish, but it's a common. It's a Gardneri. Is that even close? Gardner.
You said the killifish?
Yeah,
Was that from Derek?
it was from Derek. Yeah,
Yeah, so that is Fungulo Panchax Gardneri.
Gardner Rye. Yeah,
Yes. Gardneri, I believe. Somebody spelled
absolutely gorgeous fish. No, you're right. It's Gardner. It's Gardner Eye. Gardner Eye.
Yes. I came away
beautiful.
with 2 pairs of those from Derek.
Oh, nice.
They're in this tank here. And still some juveniles, but
yeah,
they are stunning. And he
I
told
did get a
me
pair,
that
so I got a male and a female.
when we were leaving, he was telling me that Joel, I believe it's Joel Sartor, that does the National Geographic, the photo arc, had taken pictures of the parents of the ones that we have. And the photographs look stunning. So really cool killifish.
Did he show you the photographs? Or they?
He showed me a picture of the picture being shown on a computer screen. So it was like Inception photo.
Yeah.
But stunning fish. I didn't realize you came home with some of those. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're just gorgeous. That male, at first I thought, the female's, it is what it is, but the male's really, really good looking. But now the female, as she's grown, her color is kind of like a purplish tint.
Yeah.
It's a really cool looking fish, but they're in the 10-gallon. I've also got a trio of swordtails over there in that 10-gallon. They're really, really young swordtails. I'm just trying to separate them a little bit from the chaos that is the 75-gallon. But that's all that's in that tank right now. But it's like the most interesting thing I have going on is watching those. I've never had killifish, never even thought about keeping one. It's doing great. The 20-gallon got a little overrun with plants, so I've done some trimming on it, and I actually didn't realize this, but I had not cleaned the filter in that thing in a while. So Sunday evening, I think it was, because it's got that internal filter that I was trying out for a review, and boy, that thing is a mess. I thought a sponge filter was hard to take out to clean without making a mess. That internal filter is a nightmare, and I can't wait to get rid of it now. It's kind of cool that it's got the spray bar and everything, but trying to get it out in order to get the media out is just a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
And, I could do this. I did try to put a bag around it, but even after just cutting off the motor, because, I didn't want it pumping all the water out of the bag, even after cutting off the motor, stuff just started free floating into the tank. So I ended up doing 2 water changes in that tank in order to clean up all the mess I made. which I should have taken the filter out first, but I need the water to clean the filter. But anyway, I have no idea how I got off on that. But that water was beyond chocolate milk. It was like rancid, black, been sitting out in the sun for 3 months milk. It was bad. It didn't stink. When I say rancid, I just mean it looked gross. I mean, it did stink. It's fish poop, but you know what I'm saying. It didn't stink any worse than any other fish poop. We're talking about pizza and cottage cheese in the chat.
I think y'all need to go to a different chat if we're talking about cottage cheese on pizza. That's not, maybe that's good, but not for me.
I don't do cottage cheese like at all.
I don't either.
The closest I've come to having cottage cheese is the kids left a milk cup out, and when I went to clean it, some of it flew up and hit me in the mouth and got in there. That's the closest I get to cottage cheese. Sorry.
So you've got the Killies. Did you come home with anything else from the swap?
I did. So everything else.
The aquatic market.
The aquatic market. Thank you very much. It is branded. So also from Derek, I came home with some fiery black shiners to go in the 50-gallon pond, and they were not when I put them in, but they are going to be gorgeous. I've looked them up online, and man, that is a pretty fish.
They are.
The males did already have their red nose, but they were just so stressed that they didn't have a lot of color to them. So I can't see them because I did not have enough time to take care of the 50-gallon pond this year, and I didn't get enough plants in it, and so it's pretty green. Hopefully after this winter it'll be all right, but those shiners, they should be able to make it through my winter. I'll just have to make sure it doesn't freeze over and starve them of oxygen, but they should be able to withstand the winter here. I also came home with some white clouds from Curtis.
Nice.
Yeah, they're also in the 50-gallon. I figure I wouldn't leave anything in the 20. It's more likely to get super, super cold, I would think. I'm trying to back up and look at what's been going on in the chat. Vibes Aquatics here. Welcome, Vibes. I'm sure I've missed some other people. I'm trying to get back there. I'm out of practice with this chat thing. Did we say hi to Skipper? Skipper's Aquarium has been here?
Yes, we did.
Okay, good, because he's not here anymore.
Fish Fam Link hopped in.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Looks like a lot of cottage cheese talk going on.
Vibes was guess what I'm eating, and it immediately went to cottage cheese. Skull says pizza with cottage cheese and pineapple vibes. Nice. Make eggnog into cottage cheese. Okay.
So you got your first killifish pretty recently.
Yeah.
I have also started to dabble in some killifish, and I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it, but I do, because I fought killifish for a while.
Yeah.
It has been some of the most fun I've had. I've got 3 different species right now, and they are an absolute blast. I've got one annual killifish, the Australebius nigropenis, the pearl killie, and they're an annual, so they're a substrate spawner. And watching those guys dive down into the substrate and shake around and spawn has been, I've sat in the floor and watched them for hours.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be cool.
So that's been fun. And then I've also got from the swap the Aphiosemen striatum, a really pretty killie. But they're a mop spawner, and I've been pulling mops almost every day with eggs all over them.
Wow.
So I'm hoping they have I've had them for about 3 weeks now, but they're a 14-day incubation. So after Thanksgiving, I should hopefully have some fry.
Oh, that's awesome. I haven't started watching videos on fry yet. I have no clue what to do for gardener eye. Is that what we said? Gardener eye?
Yeah.
Gardener eye. So I would imagine it's probably a mop, right?
Yeah, they're a mop spawner.
Okay.
In talking with Derek, he picks the eggs from the spawning mop, which they're sitting over there. I can grab them in a minute. But I made a bunch of spawning mops last night, just sitting here with some yarn.
Mm-hmm.
But he picks them and then puts them on a wet paper towel for about a week in a baggie until you can start to see them eye up.
Yeah.
You can do that, or you can also just do them and leave them in the tank. They should be a colony breeder, or you can just take the spawning mop and put them in a separate jar or tank with a little airline, kind of like how you do with Cory eggs.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ours, like you said, they're juveniles. I'm not sure how long until I have seen them do some courting going on. Like they were definitely checking each other out, or maybe he was checking her out. But so, I don't know how long. I probably need to talk with Derek about that. Before we go any further, there was a few more people in the chat.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fish Fam. And who else? Somebody else said something about giving that like button. We appreciate that. Then Johnny No Shoes showed up. And thanks for coming by. And let's see.
Stephen P.
Yeah,
Welcome,
thanks,
welcome.
Steven.
Thanks for stopping by. I feel like there's someone else. Streaming.
Yeah,
Linda.
I thought I saw somebody else. Okay. Yeah, there's Linda.
Well, Linda. Oh, looks like TJ said they got a pair of Amphiosemon vivittatum. Those are cool. I've been wanting to, now that I've gotten bit by the killiebug, I've been looking. Because the nice thing is you can keep most species in a 2.5 gallon.
Okay.
Just perfectly fine. Just fill it absolutely full of plants. And they are happy.
I was trying to think what would I do if I were to collect the eggs. I do have that little 2-gallon tank that I got to do a review on.
Yeah. I know a lot of killie breeders use little plastic shoe boxes for fry.
Yeah.
I was watching a video last night. I can't remember who it was. It was LRB Aquatics, and he was at Frank. What's his name? It may come to me later. Anyways, a very extremely prolific aquarist and fish breeder uses. Yeah. Have you seen the trays, like the boxes that people pull like screws out of?
Yeah.
Parts. He had all of his fry in little pull-out drawers in one of those little tiny containers, and that looked like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I need to watch some videos and get up to speed on what to do, because I definitely want to see these fish breed and get a colony going. Select Pet dropped by just to say goodnight. Welcome, John. Good to see you.
Hey, John. Hope you're doing well.
And I thought I saw somebody else. We are amateurs again.
We are. The chat's jumping around and we're losing it.
We're just sitting here in silence. That's the best type of live stream, Silence. Nobody talking. That is entertaining.
You can watch us try and read. Watch us try and read the chat. Welcome, Fishy on. We're catching up. We're getting back in the groove. But the killies have been a blast. And then I'm also keeping a couple different Endler species. Or not species, I'm sorry, strains that are pretty cool. And I've almost got shrimp in every one of these tanks.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got some Blue Dream, some Bloody Mary, some Black Rose, and then a coal tank, call it. Well, they're not really coals.
Right.
They just go into their own tank to live out and make cool color variations.
Right. I am ready to put shrimp in the 20. The 20's gotten thick enough with plants that I think they
Awesome.
could survive. Or at least I hope they can. I hope, this betta, we've never tried it, so we're gonna try it, but we're gonna ease into it. And
Yeah.
but I would like to. I need to check with. I think it's Rob who was trying to breed some emeralds. I need to
Yeah.
get a few from him, and I mean like very few because they could be an expensive snack. But I want to try that, see if I can get them in the 20, and if they survive, I'll probably put more.
Yeah. I will.
I
I
think
was
they
just,
will because it's thick.
yeah. I was a bit disappointed. We have a betta tank upstairs that started out as a shrimp tank before the betta got added.
Uh-huh.
And the shrimp had been breeding with the betta in there for
Right.
months, doing perfectly fine. Well, we
Yeah.
recently started taking down that tank, and I was like, I haven't seen the shrimp for a couple weeks or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think whatever reason a switch flipped, and all of a sudden this little guy was like, "I'm eating all of y'all."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and
Well,
so I was a little sad about that.
yeah. And that's the one thing that has me hesitant to do it. And I've even thought about maybe just, grabbing a couple cherry shrimp and put in there. But I really, if it's successful, I really want green in there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll try it. He does eat some of the Endler fry that are in there, because that Endler population has grown slightly, but there's always fry in there, so they're not maturing. So he's getting his
That's not
belly full of fry.
not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's actually a pretty
Within
good little system.
yeah.
We do get some. I actually had to move some over there from the 10-gallon when I added the killies. I didn't want to leave the Endlers in there too, just because I didn't want to have too much at one time. But yeah, that'll be cool. The rescue betta is still doing well. I've planted that tank pretty heavily, and so he's doing well. Still in his small tank. We've not been able to redo my daughter's room yet. We've got things to do in there. I've actually got a headboard that I need to sand and paint so that I can do that. But hopefully we get a larger tank in there at some point. But right now, still just a little 3-gallon, but it's got a sponge filter on it that's keeps a pretty good circulation while not blowing him around at all. And then, like I said, it's full of plants right now, so he's enjoying it. He's definitely better than he was. And let's see, what else? Oh, I put this at the desk to talk about it. I did get one of these. Aquarium Co-op
Oh,
sent me one of the
nice.
Easy Flow. So full disclosure, this was sent to me as part of the Friends of Aquarium Co-op program. I was not asked to review it. I was not asked to show it to you or say anything about it. But this is their new little sponge filter upgrade kit. Have you seen this?
I have not.
So it's an air lift tube that's adjustable, and then it's curved at the top. My finger goes total opposite direction. It's curved at the top, so it creates a flow. And man, I turned my power head off because this thing is creating flow in the 75. So it's got this, instead of a, let me get my finger over here. Instead of a air stone, you put this on the top of the, I'll probably find a better picture for everybody. You know what? I can put myself on solo at least.
So where does the input air attach?
Yeah. Let me show you. All right. So there's a sponge filter.
Yeah.
Right there on the side, there's a little, you see it? A little air.
Yeah, that's where
yeah.
Okay.
It goes right there, and then it pumps in and goes up this airlift. And when it comes out, it flows. Like there is water flowing across my tank from this thing.
Interesting.
I did put it on my large Aquarium Co-op sponge filter that's in the back of the 75. And I seriously have turned off that power head because there's enough flow going on there. Because the whole point of the power head for me was to get flow going across so I could disperse that CO2 and
Yeah.
other nutrients around the 75 a little bit better. And this thing is doing it. I will buy some more of these. I did look it up. They're not available on the site yet because they sold out of them. I don't know if they just like had an initial shipment and they, sent it out to some people. But I believe it's like $5.99 for the kit. So not cheap when you compare to the price of a sponge filter. That's like doubling the price of the sponge filter, but a lot cheaper than a power head. And
Mhm.
honestly, it's more adjustable than my power head was. So I plan on getting a few more. I'm going to replace that the 20 gallons that the internal filter that I hated that I was talking about earlier. I'm going to replace that with one for sure. Just have a little sponge filter in the back. Put it at a 45-degree angle. Let it disperse the water across that tank. It's all I will need. And there's no airstone in this either. Oh, and I forgot. There's a new sticker. I don't know if that's only if it is only coming with this product or if it's going in the rotation. But yeah. Oh, I guess there was diagrams here as well. But yeah, it does it. And it works well. Great product in my opinion.
Yeah, so Coro is saying it looks like similar to the Swiss Tropicals Jet Lift and Super Lift. I just looked up the Swiss Tropicals. It does look pretty similar.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't have either product in my hands, but it does look similar concept. That looks like something, if you don't want to buy a pre-made solution, you could probably DIY that.
Yeah, and their plan is, at least from a live stream that I listened in on a while back. It's honestly, I've not even been in Corey's live streams for a while. He was talking about how they were going to include it in their sponge filters in the future. So their sponge filter will come with it. Yeah. Now I don't know if there's going to be like an option for a while where you can get one or the other, or how they'll do that. Maybe he's talked about it in his live stream since. But he did say he was hoping to get it to be part of the package. And I think it's like I said, I love mine as soon as I started using it.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty interesting, pretty cool addition, because that's one of the biggest cons about a sponge filter is the lack of
flow
circulation through the tank.
And I'm not getting that splatter on the bottom of the glass that creates that algae that you have to scrape off. It's just got a pretty good flow going on. So it's going to limit how much I'm going to have to clean there too. So that's another plus to it. The main downside that I found, I've got extra air stones now. Because I don't
That's
need
not
them.
a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. And you know what? If you count the cost of the air stone, which is what, like $3, now that uplift tube's only a couple dollars. If you're buying a new sponge filter, of course, if you're retrofitting it onto one of your old ones, then no, you're paying $6 or whatever.
Yeah, I run sponge filters in every single one of these tanks in here, and the tanks outside of this room. I've definitely become a sponge filter fan and proponent for non-CO2 tanks.
Yeah.
So most general tank applications, slap a sponge filter on that thing, $20 for the filter, and if you have to buy an air pump, and you're off to the races. Now I've got all these running off of a common air pump, which is a big game changer.
Yeah, that would be nice. To have everything on one. I'm trying to pull up that filter to look at, the Swiss Tropicals. The chat moved on me again. Hey, Kalish, good to see you. Jeff Kane's here. Welcome, Jeff.
Welcome, welcome.
Who else has their Christmas tree up? Vibes Aquatics. Not I. Friday.
We have ours up to this is we got a cat, an additional cat, a couple months ago. We adopted one, so he's quite a bit more rambunctious and a counter surfer and climbs everywhere. So we were like, let's go ahead and put the tree up with no ornaments to see how he does.
Yeah.
He's already climbed it a couple times, so we don't know if we're doing ornaments this year. But the tree is up.
As far as CoralWorks is asking if there's tiny holes in it, I would imagine so. But the way the system is, I was so excited to get it in the tank and to check it out. I've not pulled it out again to take it apart and look at it. I would assume it because of the size of the bubbles. You know, it doesn't go blub, 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 blub. So it's got to have something dispersing the air. You like that? Blub, 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 blub.
Blub, blub,
Swiss
blub.
Tropicals Jet Lift. Swiss Tropicals. I mean, I would imagine somebody's done this before. I'm sure not every, you know, there's probably nothing new that we could come up with.
Yeah,
this looks similar.
As Coro was saying too, it seems really similar to the Matten filter airlift tubes, which are a tried and true filter tech. And let's see, Nano is saying, reminder to all, today is the last day for Secret Santa sign up at Fish Fam link. So if you need to do that.
Yeah, I saw that mentioned in Rico's live stream, but I'm so far removed. I wasn't sure what exactly was going on. I think I missed it last year too. Didn't they do it last? Well, you maybe don't know, but I thought I saw it last year when they did it.
I'm bad about staying active in the online communities. I primarily stay active in the little online local communities.
Yeah.
Being a board member of a club gets busy at times.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a moment. CoralWorks says, do they have a chart stating the head heights or GPH for how much air your pump puts out? Is that talking about the pump that you were talking about, or are you asking about my pump that is going to this sponge filter with this new lift tube? I've not really looked on the website too much.
I think they're asking how many gallons per hour as far as flow from the tube does it output per, air input.
Yeah, I've not seen anything like that, but I've not been on the site. It's a good flow, I could say that. That's been my experience, is that, I can still see where things are moving around in the 75 like they were with a power head. And of course, it's not as strong as the power head, but I would say the power head was a little too strong. That was one of the things I kept messing with, was trying to, I kept saying, I need a dial on this power head. I'm not a huge fan of that power head because it's not adjustable in any way. It can't adjust the angle, can't adjust the flow. So, it just pushes water, which it's what it's designed to do. But it didn't work for my situation in my tank. It wasn't exactly what I wanted. I was trying to find ways to change the flow on it. And I feel like this is a solution for me. Yeah, Kalish says, I believe that once they sell out of the current filters, all the sponge filters will come with the kit. And the price will go up. Yeah, I would imagine the price is going to go up some. Man, the chat is just not wanting to work with me. It wasn't a Secret Santa last year. It was a series of giveaways on different channels. This year it's Secret Santa giftings. Okay. I thought both. I thought there was like a Secret Santa and the Fishmas Christmas. So sounds like Fishmas is not a thing this year. Your air pump has liters of air per minute number, and the uplift tube will have a different amount it puts out depending on the pump. I'm just a sucker for charts. Coral Kalish says Coral likes his stats. Well, I'll go over the
Yes.
Aquarium Co-op site and see if they put anything out. I doubt it. I don't think this has been an officially released item yet. I believe it was they only had so many, and I think it went to those in the friends of so that they could get some feedback maybe.
Yeah, if you really wanted to, you could try and do some calcs.
Yeah.
Some velocity calcs based off the size of that airlift. But the thing I don't like about air pumps.
Oh, it's on the site.
This is common through several different industries, whether, with pumps and for, water pumps or air pumps. That output is very subjective. And it's measured under very specific conditions. So I don't know how they do air pump outputs, but it's probably under call it standard conditions of 20 degrees C under atmospheric pressure. So it'll depend on where you're located, how much air those air pumps actually output.
Well, we've got a total of 4 reviews so far. It did come with way more extensions than I needed for the 75. Just the height of, and the 75's got a lot of substrate built up in the back. But this is the size filter that I have running in that 10-gallon. So just put it there right underneath the, right there at the surface. But let's see.
Yeah. So those. It looks like the height's adjustable through like little couplings.
Yeah, it's real easy. And then not each of them, but there's a few of them have a little bracket that you can put the airline through, so it'll hold the airline straight. That was a nice little addition. It does. Oh, here you go. Here is.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
So I would imagine it's just a plastic piece with holes in there. I doubt it's like a ceramic piece. I mean, it could be, but I doubt it. There's where it holds the airline. You can get notifications for when these are available. It says it increases the flow in the aquarium. I do like the air collar. I like it over the, anytime you clean a sponge filter that's been in your aquarium for any time at all, you always have the airstone fall. I always have the airstone fall. It doesn't matter what kind of air tube I'm having, the airstone falls and I end up having to dig it out. So it's nice to not have to do that anymore. Okay, so launching Q4 of 2023. They should be out anytime. But yeah, not seeing a chart.
Oh.
That's just height.
Special.
There you go. There's your pieces. But we're looking for a chart. Where's the chart? Wow, this page is actually pretty long. Let's see here. Oh, that's it. Yeah. See what others have said. Best upgrade I never knew I needed. So excited. And you know what is funny about this? I had seen this product. Wow, my StreamYard is not. Oh, there we go. That's better. Okay. It was, you were gone. You were still there, but it was showing me you were gone. So, there are. CoralWorks says if anyone wants to DIY one, there's a sweet spot for hole size where too large allows a little bit of backflow and will eventually reduce flow with biofilm buildup. Smaller holes reduce maintenance, and this is true. For the air holes that replace the airstone part. Yeah. And that's why I liked the Zis airstone, because you could kind of adjust it a little bit. But anyway, as far as I was talking about when I got it, it is really sad how excited I was when that thing came in the mail. And I was like, it's a little tube that is going to go on something that I already have. But look at that. It's awesome because it's flowing and things are moving.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was nerding out over it. And I can't wait for you to get one, Nano Guy. But yeah, I would be interested in knowing how the Swiss goes, the dogs playing with the kids. Because I'd never heard of that. I'd never seen it. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a few out there, and especially in other markets outside the US. I'm on mute so I can get on to it.
Oh, I didn't realize Eheim made adjustable air stones as well. That's pretty cool. I don't really use air stones. I don't like the sponge filters with air stones in them, just because they do clog. And
Yeah.
I don't like to touch the sponge filters often, so I don't like air stones just because they clog.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I experienced that with the formerly known as Never Clog Airstone. I had it clog and destroy a pump and about crash a tank when I wasn't paying attention to it. It burned up an air pump.
Yeah, no, that I can see that happening. I just don't think the airstones add enough benefit to outweigh the maintenance on them. Because I don't know, most of the time I feel like your aquarium, unless you're have something that has really high oxygen demands, a coarser bubble really isn't gonna make that much of a difference.
Yeah, I would say that the noise from the bubbles in the tank next to my bedroom drove my wife crazy when I didn't have an airstone on it. So that would be one reason why I would do an airstone, is to quiet down the noise coming from that airflow. And then secondly, it has to do with the smaller bubbles did slow down the how fast that green algae would form on the bottom of the glass. So that's another reason why I liked it. But this has very little splash going on, so I would imagine it's going to be even better. I need to give it a good scrape and clean and see how long it takes it.
Yeah, that would be something cool to do. I luckily haven't dealt with much algae. Well, I don't have any glass lids. Yeah. So I don't think the algae grows as quick. I use like the polycarbonate like greenhouse roofing stuff that's this is really poorly cut, but this stuff
solo.
I use it. Yep. I got a sheet of it from like Home Depot, and I cut it with just a what do you call it? A box cutter.
Yeah.
And it works well enough. It keeps the heat in really well, I added it because of the Achilles and also because the basement is unheated. So
yeah,
it gets pretty cold down here, and I'm not running heaters in these tanks.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got glass lids on all of mine. The only one that I guess I did buy a glass lid for the 20 gallon. The 75, the glass lids came with it, and I'm sure I bought one for the 25. But yeah, I've seen those, and I know a lot of people have had a lot of success with them. So no problem there. Hey, before we're down to like 9 minutes, before we go, let's have updates on the aquarium clubs. So you guys are meeting again next. Not next week or the following week.
So we're not doing our normal monthly meeting that's the first Saturday of the month. We're actually doing a holiday party. Mm-hmm. If you're in the Nashville area or around, we're having our holiday party at Aquatic Critter, which is a local fish store. So we're just going to go there, hang out, have some pizza, and browse around the store. And then we normally do an auction at our club meetings, but this time we're going to do kind of a raffle giveaway.
Yeah.
So if you're in the area, that would be fun. Aquatic Critter, I do want to give a big shout out to them. They're going above and beyond to help the club keep going and just hosting the party after their store hours, donating some stuff, and just being all around a great local fish store. So big shout out to them. Then after that, we will resume our normal meetings in January, and I'm excited about that. Don't have a speaker lined up for January yet, but in February we've got Art. I think it's Art Parola. I may have said the last name wrong, but from the Bluegrass Fish Keepers Association. Cool. He's out in John's neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Going to give a talk on his expedition. I think it's Expedition Honduras. He went to Honduras looking for some endemic cichlids. So that'll be really cool to hear.
And that's in February?
That's in February, yeah.
Okay. Hey, Mexicali Fish Keepers here. Welcome.
We had
Oscars is here too.
Welcome.
Cool.
Last month, let's see. Last month I ended up speaking, so sorry for those of you who had to listen to that. But that was fun. And then we had Tia speak at the meeting before that on her macroalgae and biophile endeavors. I know she probably gave a similar talk at y'all's.
She did. Yeah, she did for our November meeting.
Yeah. Fantastic speaker. Yeah. Super knowledgeable, very knowledgeable aquarist and biologist and all around fish science nerd. Right. Was really cool to hear her. Very, very passionate.
Yeah, and the story of that whole operation starting, in their house, then growing into the garage, and now moving into its own facilities. Really cool. We did record ours. The person who's currently doing the YouTube channel is a slacker. Well, let me rephrase that. The person who has been doing the YouTube channel is a slacker. He has handed it off to somebody who's much more capable and going to be taking care of it moving forward. So when they're able to get to it, because there's a backlog due to the slacker, that video will be up on our YouTube channel, so we can share that once it's up, so people can watch it. I'm sure it's a similar presentation because I think she did it there and then with us, so like it was back to back, or maybe it was October, November. But either way, it was really good. We had a good time, and the name of the club is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Music City Aquarium Society. I always forget to say that. Yeah.
That's okay. You may hear it being called MCAS by a few people, but a new club started this year. Are you guys about to hit your 1 year? Did you start in January?
We hit 1 year in October.
In October. Awesome. Okay.
So we're already a year in. Want to give a shout out to all of our awesome members. We've got about 20 or so people who come a meeting, and they are all awesome people who want to come on a Saturday and talk about fish and just hang out. So I really enjoy those meetings. They're a whole lot of fun. They go by a blur because I get there, I set up, and then all of a sudden I'm like, all of a sudden I'm putting chairs back up, and I'm like, what happened? Did we do a meeting?
I totally get that. Absolutely. That's how it goes. So for us in October, because I believe it was probably September the last we live streamed. October was our aquatic market. It was another success. We had a good time, good turnout. It does appear that the fall turnout is less than the spring turnout. So some of our planning, we may keep that in mind in the future. We did have more vendors than we'd ever had. I think we broke the 30 mark, I believe, this time.
There was a lot.
Yeah. And a lot of different stuff too, which I thought was really cool. It wasn't, there was probably only 2 or 3 vendors that had the same thing. or you know what I'm saying? Like you would have a couple of options of the same type of
Mhm.
fish or plants, but everything was kind of spread out on what was available. And it's just fun to get together with everybody and have a good time. I didn't get to stay for the whole thing, unfortunately, but I did make it back to help clean up before the end. And but it's just it's fun to get together. Um, then the following week, um, we had our meet, or 2 weeks later, we had our meeting, our November meeting. Tia was a speaker, and we also had our second club election for a board member. So we added another new board member. Jason McMahon was one of the original board members who helped us to put together the club, and he had a great opportunity at work that has been really good for him and his family, but it just did not allow enough time for him to really give what he thought he needed to give to the board. So he stepped back, planning on still being part of the club, and that allowed for another one of the active members of the club, well, a few of the active members to be nominated, and then we held an election. And Cassandra Dominique was the elected board member. She's been on PecTech's channel.
Mhm.
There's been a couple of times, I think. And of course, we've spoken several times about talking about Achilles. So maybe we get that. Maybe we get that happening sometime soon. Um, on this channel. We'll
Yeah.
have her on with the live stream. That would be a good one. I saw several people talking about Achilles, so we'll try to make that a priority. But yeah, so we've got 2 new members on the board, and they're starting to take responsibilities. And they both were already active members, but now they're getting to help out with a little bit more of the behind the scenes decisions and stuff. And it's going to be another great year. We're looking forward to it. Our December meeting is also a more like a social than an actual meeting, but we do not have a spot to do it yet. We're still working on that. As a matter of fact, when I was at the beginning of this live stream, when I got a bunch of messages and I was looking down, that's what was happening. There was some conversation started about a couple of places that apparently we checked out recently, and we were and they were looking at. So I'll catch up with that chat once we get off the live stream. But yeah, that is for the East Tennessee Aquatic Association. I also did not give the name to begin with. Uh,
The
cool hat, that custom
hat.
hat that I have
Yes,
here that Rob made. I think you got one too, right?
I did, and that's my new favorite hat.
Oh yeah,
I,
it's a nice
I'm
hat,
not.
especially for
I'm not.
winter.
Yes, I'm not normally. I haven't been a hat guy, but I got
Hmm.
that when I was like, I'm gonna start wearing hats, and
Yeah,
I meant to wear it tonight, but it's upstairs. But um, yeah, fantastic hat.
yeah.
Really excited for y'all. I think Cassandra and Rob are great additions to the board,
Yeah,
and
I didn't. I don't think I said Rob, but that has happened since the last time too. Was that
yeah,
Rob Ziegler is also on the board? So thank you for pointing that out because I don't think I said that.
yeah, I think that happened in August.
Yeah, it was all crazy. I think we had one live stream, and I don't know that we actually talked about it. We were in the midst of trying to put that together. It was the very first time we had an opportunity. We did talk about it because I remember talking about Kane needing to step away for
Yeah.
work reasons as well. Keeper Kane. Some of y'all are familiar with his channel as well. But anyway, Rob has been with us for a few months now, and Cassandra's been involved from the very beginning.
Mhm.
She was involved in a lot of the conversations of what we would like to do, what we would like to see. She volunteered at Aquaticon when we had a table there, as well as you. You'd probably be on the board by now if you hadn't, if you weren't in Nashville starting your own club, which is awesome. Um, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun this year, and looking forward next year, and being able to see what we might do a little bit different. We've got some stuff that we've discussed with Conservation Fisheries Incorporated (CFI). We've talked about CFI on here multiple times, and we've had Derek on, and but we've got some stuff we're hoping to do with them. and that'll be really cool to share with you all. And I'll make sure I try to get some videos and stuff of that. I've got video from the last time I was there, but I've not gotten a video out on it. But yeah, just lots of stuff that I could be doing. I need to get to. Slacker.
Yeah.
Got nothing else to do. Nothing else to do. But yeah, I think that's it for this one. We've gone up over a couple minutes. I'm not sure on the schedule who is going live now. Hey, Liquid Zoo. Thanks,
How's
Matt.
it going?
Yeah, we're going to try to do this again.
Yeah.
No promises on when yet. As far as when is normal, we may stick to the Tuesday. I need to look at the schedule. I need to see what's going on with it. I don't know that Tuesday works for me anymore. We'll see. But thank you all for being here, Tanner. As always,
Yeah,
it's good to just sit down and talk. I've missed this.
I have
George
well,
RB3 just got here. We got to keep going.
Another hour.
And no, the Secret Santa signups in tonight.
Yes, and it's definitely great seeing everybody in the chat. Thank you all for hanging around and listening to Mitch and I ramble. It's always a fun time. So really appreciate y'all.
Paul Soltero's here as well. Somebody must have ended a stream. People starting to come in.
Yeah.
And we're saying our goodbyes. Thank you. We appreciate it. We will be back.
Thank you.
We will be back. We just got to work some things out time-wise and make it happen. But now that we've done it again and we realize what we've been missing, as if we didn't already know what we've been missing, maybe we're able to make it more of a priority. Maybe I just do some of my kids' homework with them while we're live streaming. All right, you all. Thank you for coming by. Thank you to everyone who's been in the chat. And sorry we didn't back and forth with you nearly as much as we may have in the past. We'll get back to that, I promise. And and for those of you who are watching this on the replay, we appreciate you. You're awesome. Thanks for checking this out. And, subscribe to the channel, all the YouTube stuff, all of that. We'll see you later.
Yep. Bye.